Meet the Lexus LM. It'll become Australia's most expensive people mover when it goes on sale in late 2023 or early 2024. The top of the range model is priced from more than $220,000. And today we get to take a closer look. Let's get started. This is a people mover, but not as we know it. While the concept of a super luxury people mover is popular in Japan and China, it's new territory for Australia. Believe it or not, this is what a $220,000 people mover looks like. It's called the Lexus LM, and it is due in local showrooms in late 2023 or early 2024. While there will be less expensive versions of the Lexus LM, starting about $160,000 to $170,000, this is the one attracting headlines. It has 2 fully reclining captain's chairs, a 48-inch TV screen, 2 sunroofs, and 4-zone air conditioning. Best of all, it's easy to get in and out because it is shaped like a van rather than a low-slung limousine. This model, the 500h Hybrid, is all-wheel drive and powered by a turbocharged 2.4-litre 4-cylinder petrol engine. Other models in the range will be powered by a non-turbo 2.5-litre 4-cylinder engine. Final specifications are due to be released closer to local showroom arrivals. If you've wondered what a $220,000 people mover looks like, this is it. We have a widescreen digital instrument cluster and a super wide infotainment screen. Helpfully, there are actual volume knobs and air conditioning dials on this touchscreen, so it is easier to operate when you're on the move. So that's a nice welcome touch. As you'd expect, the quality of the interior is next level. It actually smells like a luxury car. It doesn't smell like a people mover at all. We've got beautiful quality leather seats. We've got soft touch materials across the dash, and in lieu of fake wood grain, the timber inside this people mover is the real deal. The seating position is comfortable and you have a commanding view of the road ahead, which a lot of people mover drivers enjoy today, but now you can enjoy that view in luxury. But let's take a look at what the Lexus LM is really about, the back seat. Well, it really is luxurious back here, and apologies for the background music. Lexus has some kind of promotional video playing through the 48-inch, now that's a world record apparently, widescreen TV for backseat passengers. But I'll try and get as much of this out as I can while we've got these interruptions. The seats are more like a first-class seat rather than a business-class seat. They have full adjustability, heating and cooling, and they really are very comfortable. In fact, you could easily go to sleep here. There's a couple of wireless charging pads here for smartphones, and all the controls you need are at your fingertips, including individual sunroof controls. So one side of the car can have the sunroof open and the other side can have the sunroof closed. It might not look like a limousine on the outside, but it certainly feels like a limousine on the inside, but with a lot more room. Drive was invited with other international media to attend a brief preview of the Lexus LM in Japan ahead of Australian showroom deliveries later this year. Although the LM is all about backseat passengers, it's actually pretty comfortable up front as well. I have a commanding view of the road ahead, all the appointments are within easy reach, and everything's really user-friendly. As we mentioned earlier, we've got physical controls for the volume and the air conditioning settings, and it's just a really serene experience to drive. I'm not sure I'd pay $220,000 for one of these, but it is interesting to see just how far you can take the people mover concept. This is the top of the range model, so there is a divider between the front seat and the back seat. And that means the driver can't hear the conversation in the back, which adds to privacy. And if you don't want to see what's going on, you press this button here, and all of a sudden that rear window becomes opaque. To make sure you can still see behind the car, there is a digital rear view mirror. So although you can't see directly through the rear window, there's a digital display of what's behind you. I've got to say, when it's in hybrid mode and when the engine revs are quite low, it does feel quite refined and quite quiet. But a couple of times on this very short drive, the engine did kick in and it was a bit loud, and I wasn't expecting that. Hybrid technology is usually a lot more refined than that. The occasional super rich family might buy one of these, but really this type of vehicle is going to be driven by chauffeurs. And if you're a limousine driver or a hire car driver, this is a pretty comfortable way to spend your day. The suspension does float along a little bit, and that's obviously intentional to try and give the most comfortable experience to backseat passengers. If you're a driving enthusiast, it's probably going to feel a bit marshmallowy. I don't know if the microphone's picking that up now, but we are starting to get a bit of engine noise as the battery pack of the hybrid system started to deplete and we started driving up a hill. So all of a sudden the petrol motor has woken up, and I must say it is a touch noisy. As it stands from the driver's seat, I really can't fathom the price of this car, but maybe that'll change when we check out the back seat. Okay, so now I'm starting to see some of the appeal with this car. Lexus describes it as business class seating. I describe it as first class seating. This seat reclines, so it takes a while, so we can get started now. And then once you finish that, you can bring this lower seat cushion up. Here we go. Now what I've just noticed is you can't do these two functions at once. Obviously the electric motor wants to operate just one or the other. Oh, can go back a bit further. Okay, so this is how, apparently, wow, that's as flat as a bed, I've got to be honest. I could easily do Sydney to Canberra, you know what, even Sydney to Brisbane this way. Wow. I've never been accused of lying down on the job before, but I guess it's the first time for everything. So as you can see, it takes a little while to retract and come back up, but it is supremely comfortable. I also have seat heating and seat ventilation. And if I want to, I can lower the screen so I can talk to the driver or make it opaque or clear view. The top of the range Lexus LM also comes with this tablet, which enables you to control the 48-inch TV screen in front of us here. The TV screen is what Lexus claims the largest of its type in a car anywhere in the world, 48-inch. That's bigger than the TV I have at home. Evidently, you compare your laptop or your tablet to the screen so you can operate both at the same time. It's also a great way to catch up with movies and perhaps even a Zoom conference call. There's individual temperature controls for either side. So this is a 4-zone air-conditioned car. There's 2 air conditioning zones up front and 2 at the back. Being a people mover, it might not look cool, but if you want to travel any significant distance in comfort, this is probably the way to go. There's window shades all around, and they open and close at the press of a button. And as we mentioned earlier, there's twin sunroofs. So one occupant can have the sunroof closed, the other can have it open. No fighting. The Lexus LM might look incognito on the outside, but it is absolutely opulent on the inside. Our test drive of the front and back seats was on perfectly smooth roads in controlled conditions. So we will reserve final judgment until we can test the Lexus LM on the worst roads Australian cities have to offer. In the meantime, to stay up to date with all the latest news on the Lexus LM, please go to Drive.com.au. And as always, please hit like if you've enjoyed this video and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any future updates.